As we get ready for the Giants and the Packers on a 13-degree day at Lambeau Field, each sideline is covered. We start with the Giants and Chris Myers.
Joe, the Giants feel they have a special plan for Aaron Rodgers and those quick snaps that limit their substitutions and get a defense out of sync. Coordinator Steve Spagnuolo told us this week he's going to be watching Rodgers, especially after the play, between the whistle and the next snap. That'll be his cue to get the right players and the right defense in the right amount of time. Just a game within the game that we'll all be watching as we're down on the field freezing. And speaking of that, let's head over to the Packers sideline and Aaron Andrews.
Yeah, stay warm over there, Chris. I asked Aaron Rodgers what gives when facing this Giants defense, and he said this home field advantage in this weather. He said when we're playing on this surface and in these temps, we feel like we're playing downhill. He said flat out, we know how to deal with this cold a lot better than the Giants. He mentioned they need to be efficient with the ball. They can't throw it at them. They need to take care of it. And again, he said, I respect the Giants, but I do not fear them. Joe?
All right, Aaron, thank you, and thanks to Chris. Troy and I have a security blanket, and he's wearing a scarf and a headset. His name is Mike Pereira. It's that time of year again where it's all-star officiating crews, not the normal guys that these men in stripes work with during the regular year.
You know, Joe, and I'm a crew guy. I think guys that have worked together all year, 15 regular seasons, 4 preseason game, odd events together. Last night in Seattle, 7 guys from 7 different crews did not perform on a level that's acceptable. We'll see here with Ed.
Ed Hockley is the man in charge, the veteran referee, and he says we're ready, and indeed we are. Packers, by the way, won the toss. They defer, so the Giants start with a ball, and Dwayne Harris out to the 25 plus, close to the 28. And that's where Eli Manning and his 2-0 postseason record here at Lambeau Field will start his day. Threw for 199 when these two teams met in week 5, and he's won 5 straight postseason games on the road.
Yeah, and 2 of those came here at Lambeau Field. So this is a place, although they lost earlier in the season, in postseason, he's 2-0 here against Green Bay, and a confident quarterback for his first playoff game in 5 years.
Perkins starts in the backfield. And gets it to his right, nowhere to go, and Micah Hyde makes the stop after Mike Daniels made the play. And a loss of 2. We look at the Giants offense and where they rank in the NFL points per game. In fact, they haven't scored as many as 20 over their last 5. The rush yards are getting a little better. Eli Manning has 20 giveaways himself. 27 for the Giants offense. 2nd and 12, Perkins again. Made the most of it. A more manageable 3rd down coming up as Perkins gets 6, brought down by Jake Ryan. And this Packers defense, you see that bottom line, a key inactive, one of their corners, Quentin Rollins, where they rank in points per game, and they've given up a lot of pass yardage.
Well, you think back to that last week's win against the Detroit Lions, they lose 3 corners in a matter of minutes, and they're shorthanded again this afternoon, as you said, with Quentin Rollins not able to play. Bob Capers is going to have to continue to mix things up defensively.
On 3rd down and 6, Manning protected, wide open, Victor Cruz. And Cruz has got a 1st down for the Giants at the 49. A gain of 17, and it started up front.
Good protection up front by this offensive line. You see a clean pocket for Eli Manning, and a good combination route over on the 2 receiver side that allows Victor Cruz to come underneath versus man coverage, and a natural picking action that opened up the middle of the field for him.
Beckham started in the backfield, and now on 1st down from the 49. Manning finds Beckham, and Beckham finds a Giant 1st down. Micah Hyde on the stop, and Eli Manning 2 for 2. That one good for 11.
Well, as we take a look at this drive, the Giants are finding some holes. They convert on third down. They've struggled in that area throughout this game, but go back to week 5 and a lot of two deep looks by this Packers defense, and can they hold up against the run when they play that style?
Quick snap, pass is caught. It's the tight end, Will Tye, and on first down, a gain of 5.
Yeah, I think as long as Eli Manning can get some protection, and the pass protection, although poor for much of this year, I think in recent games it has improved. And on this opening possession, we've seen him with some time, and Eli Manning delivering some good strikes.
See where they rank in opening possession points. Down toward the bottom as Perkins got hit, drove forward for 1. He gets it to the 35. Julius Peppers makes the stop, and Ben McAdoo, 39-year-old first-year head coach for the Giants, 8 years an assistant here with Green Bay. His last 2 years before jumping to New York, he was a quarterbacks coach for Aaron Rodgers. Third down and 5. Maybe in an area where they would go for it if they don't get it on third down. Manning, pass is dropped in and out of the hands of Beckham. Now it's fourth down, and we'll see what Ben McAdoo wants to do. He's going to punt.
Well, they're going to try to double up Odell Beckham, and as you see, Morgan Burnett, who's playing the dime linebacker, he runs out and gets underneath that, but Eli hangs in there under pressure and delivers a perfect ball that should have been caught.
They pass on a 53-yard field goal try, and a timeout was taken by the Packers bench because a player was late getting off. That would have been devastating to Green Bay, and Mike McCarthy saw it and called a timeout instead of getting a 5-yard penalty, which would have been enough for a first down. And let's see who that is. It looks like linebacker Kyler Fackrell, a rookie.
That's normally what we see the opponents doing when they're playing the Green Bay Packers, trying to get off the field when Aaron Rodgers is catching them with 12 men.
Well, it was interesting because the Giants are at the 35, so A, you could go for it on 4th and 5 if you want to be daring. B, you could try a 53-yard field goal on this frigid day at Lambeau, or C, you punt it. And the answer for Ben McAdoo here on the road is to punt it.
I like the call. I like the call. I think trying to kick a field goal here in these conditions is a real challenge at this distance, and there are no gimmies in a game like this. And Brad Wing has been so good putting the ball inside the 20. I think you want to back up a red-hot offense.
Two-time special teams player of the week is Brad Wing for downing it inside the 20. Hyde waiting and makes a fair catch at the 5. Well, here comes Aaron Rodgers. No score early at Lambeau. Well, the Giants took it into Green Bay territory. The drive stalled at the 35, and now here's Aaron Rodgers just outside his own 5. Marked the fair catch by Hyde at the 6, and a handoff is to Ty Montgomery, and what a hit. Montgomery carried it, and I believe it was Jonathan Casillas and Landon Collins combining on the stop, a gain of 1. 2nd and 9, and how good are the last 7 games for Aaron Rodgers?
Well, it's been pretty amazing. I mean, you look at the 18 touchdowns. He was throwing a lot of touchdown passes through the first 8 or 9 ball games of the year as well. I think the big thing is just more efficient. He's completed a higher percentage of passes, and then they've gotten the big plays out of the passing game.
2nd and 9, passes into a tight window and caught by Jared Cook, who, as you mentioned, was not active, out with an ankle injury the first time these two met.
Yeah, that's a matchup that Aaron Rodgers really likes, is Jared Cook. Really every week. He missed a good part of the season. He was injured. He did not play, as you said, the first matchup between these two teams. As a tight fit ball right there, and a good job by Jared Cook hanging on to it.
That would be a big loss with Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie limping to the sideline. He's been so good. Third down and 2. Rodgers has all day down the sideline. It is broken up. And the all-pro Landon Collins got a hand in there with Jared Cook, the target. It's 4th down.
You see Jared Cook, they split him out, and he sees that Rodgers is holding on to the ball, and they go into scramble drills, and just Landon Collins, who has had an outstanding season, an all-pro season, he's able to make a play. That'll be a good matchup to watch throughout this game.
Well, that early decision by Ben McAdoo pays off. They pin Green Bay inside their 10. They get a 3 and out. Shum punts it. Not a very good punt. Takes a Green Bay bounce, but still decent starting field position for Eli Manning at his own 38. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie injured early. We'll keep an eye on that. No score. Well, that's not a good sign for the Giants. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week with the 2 interceptions and a sack in Week 17 at Washington. He's played great all year. He got hit on the right knee. Doesn't look good on the sideline. Second possession for Eli Manning. And more from the rookie Perkins, whose uncle played in the Ice Bowl back in '67. Give us more on number 28.
Well, I talked about Paul Perkins a little bit earlier and his emergence and what that's meant to the running game. He got his first NFL start last week, and he rushed for over 100 yards. Just an outstanding job. He talked about how nervous he was going into that game as his first start. You can only imagine what's going through his mind now as a rookie making his first playoff appearance at Lambeau Field. But he's off to a pretty good start, and he's going to be an important part of this Giants offense if they're going to have success here this afternoon.
2nd and 8. Peppers coming off the edge. They throw away from his side, and Perkins gets hit by Clinton Dix along the sideline, a gain of 5. Jake Ryan in on the stop as well, but Perkins got popped right there at the end.
Yeah, Clinton Dix making his first Pro Bowl too, and a lot of discussion about how thin the ranks have been in the secondary. It has not been at safety. It has been at the cornerback position. Both Clinton Dix and Morgan Burnett having started every game, and really, those guys have had great years.
3rd and 3. Manning going deep. The rookie Shepard spinning for the catch. Sterling Shepard with a strong grab, good for 26.
Well, they man up on the edges, and they're one-on-one. Sterling Shepard, he gets a great release on Micah Hyde. There's a lot of field to work with. Eli Manning, these are tough conditions to try to throw the football. He gets it out there enough, and Sterling Shepard makes a nice adjustment to the ball.
Giants hurry it up. Beckham is open and can't hang on. Gunter in coverage. Beckham got behind him, and maybe a little too much air from Eli.
A little too much, but you see right now as he gets right past Ladarius Gunter, that's a mismatch. And I'm a little surprised Dom Capers has singled up the receivers. They've already shown more single coverage this afternoon than they showed the entire game in Week 5. And because of that, these receivers have had one-on-one opportunities. They hit Sterling Shepard, a big play. They miss out on a touchdown to Odell Beckham.
2nd and 10. Good pass from Manning to Shepard. Manning with a fastball. He was a little behind Sterling Shepard, but he adjusted. Good for 13 and a first down.
Oh, this offensive line is holding up, and they are the key. Much of this year, Eli Manning, yeah, you can talk about some of the inconsistencies and some of the errant throws that he has had, but it has been rare that he has been able to drop back on a regular basis and have a clean pocket and not have one of those offensive tackles in his lap. They're holding up so far in this game.
Manning end zone. Shepard can't hang on. Defended by Hyde. Micah Hyde, who's kind of a do-everything player for the Packers, was there and poked it away.
He had to play outside corner last week because of a numbers game. This time he's lined up outside on Sterling Shepard. A well-thrown ball by Eli Manning, and I'd be a little concerned right now if I'm Dom Capers based on what we have seen in the receiver's ability to get past these defensive backs.
5 straight pass plays from the Giants. They just got it away. Manning steps up. Wide open Victor Cruz inside the 10. Where a 3rd and short is upcoming after a gain of 7. Jake Ryan on the stop.
You know, one thing that we are seeing from the Giants and Ben McAdoo is they are putting Odell Beckham in the slot position a lot here in this first quarter, and they didn't do a lot of that the last time they met. And when you put him in the middle, as much as a defense wants to double him, it makes it really challenging. And by doing it, he's lined up on the outside right now, but when he lines up inside, it creates some opportunities for these other receivers.
3rd down and 3. Pass is broken up. 4th down. Shepard was the target, and the drive will stall inside the 10, and a short field goal try from Robbie Gould is coming up.
Well, they had some opportunities, just failed to capitalize on them, but some drop balls this time by Sterling Shepard. But nevertheless, the Giants have moved the ball, and that's, even though they'd much rather come away with a touchdown, keeping number 12 over on the sidelines, that's good.
26-yard try by Gould. The drive nets 3 points. Could have been more. Beckham couldn't hang on, but the Giants strike first on the road at Lambeau. Affecting the thickness of the ice on the Fox River yesterday for ice fishing. They say it's 11 inches thick. 13 degrees at the start of this game, 2 degrees with a wind chill, and a 9-play drive ends in a Robbie Gould 26-yard field goal. And Gould kicks it away. Janis on the return has a little room in front of him. Not anymore. Can't make the 25. Devontae Skinner on the tackle. Second possession for the Packers. Down 3. Well, the Pro Bowl is headed to Orlando. It's the 2017 Pro Bowl presented by Aquafina. Return to the traditional AFC versus NFC. Tune in on Sunday, January 29th, 8 p.m. That's Eastern time, and check out the new Pro Bowl Skills Showdown on Thursday, January 26th at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Second possession. Here's Montgomery, his second carry. And neither one's been impressive. He gets 2. Let's go down for an update on DRC. Here's Chris Myers.
Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie on that previous Packer offensive series with a bruised thigh on that 3rd down play. He went, the trainers checked on him. He was wincing in pain standing, went to the bicycle, then to the heater, then to the trainer's table. A guy known for toughing it out, Joe. He's officially questionable, still in pain with that thigh injury.
Well, that would make Aaron Rodgers lick his chops. Talk to us about how the Giants have 3 terrific cover corners. They're down to 2 at the moment. Rodgers, protection. To the sideline for Jordy Nelson. And there's just no way to cover these receivers for that long. And Nelson is left alone for 13 yards.
Well, this is what we saw the entire game the last time these two teams met. Just the protection that Aaron Rodgers is afforded. And I don't care how good your corners are, when a quarterback has that kind of time, somebody is going to get open. And the chemistry that he and Jordy Nelson have, is exceptional in those situations on scramble drills. Jordy Nelson finds a way to work back to his quarterback, and that typically is where Rodgers is going with the ball.
That was 8 seconds worth of protection. Vernon chasing Rodgers, who just throws it away. 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, the Packers were 0-5 during the regular season when the opponent scored first, and the Giants 6-1 when they got on the board first. And so far early, the Giants have had the more impressive start. It's 2nd and 10 for the Packers.
I think, Joe, right now, you think about it, Steve Spagnuolo has worked on some blitzes that are new, and he wants to show and come after Aaron Rodgers. But with Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie out of the lineup, now you got Trevin Wade in the slot. You know, is that something? Now Cody Sensabaugh, he's come in, he's down in that position, and it limits you a little bit, like it did the first time these two teams played, in what you're willing to do.
2nd and 10. Here's one for Cook, and he's overthrown. Jackrabbit Jenkins in coverage for the Giants. Meanwhile, for Aaron Rodgers, the first time these two teams met in Week 5, he dropped back 45 times and was not sacked once by Steve Spagnuolo's defense.
And not only was he not sacked, I'm not real sure he was even touched. I mean, there was what we saw in that last scramble where he had 9 seconds to find Jordy Nelson. That's the way that it looked, and it really puts a bind on your defensive secondary. And I don't think Steve Spagnuolo is going to allow that to happen, but that was with the plan coming in. He was going to have 3 healthy corners.
The clock to the correct time.
They have to reset the clock to the correct time. The clock kept running after that incompletion. Meanwhile, it's 3rd and 10 from the 38.
Jenkins, he goes with Jordy Nelson on this play.
Giants back out of a blitz. Rodgers down the middle. Nelson, contact, and a flag. And it's Jenkins in coverage. Pass interference against number 20.
Well, normally Janoris Jenkins stays at the outside right cornerback position, but when he comes off of that spot, it tells Aaron Rodgers that he is in man coverage. He knew he had one-on-one on Jordy Nelson. It's a vertical seam route. He takes a shot, and there's contact made. And
pass interference, defense, number 20. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, that was a throw where Rodgers is really just trying to throw Nelson open, and in the process of doing that, Nelson trying to make a play on the ball, there's contact, and there's not much that Jenkins could do about that.
32 yards on the penalty on 3rd and 10. And the Packers are at the Giants 30, down by 3. They fake the end around, and then a throw to Montgomery, and a play made by Keenan Robinson. Number 57 shot through there and made the play, a loss of 1.
Well, there's not many teams that get down in this area of the field against this Giants team, and you know, they start out at first down on the 31-yard line, and even fewer teams have been able to come away with touchdowns here in recent weeks.
No team allowed fewer touchdowns this year than the Giants defense. They were number 2 in scoring overall to the Patriots. 2nd and 11 now. More time for Rodgers. Time runs out, and a sack for Cody Sensabaugh. And maybe Aaron Rodgers is getting lulled into a false sense of security back there, as that took a while, and a loss of 11.
Well, they're trying to hit Devontae Adams in the flat, but Janoris Jenkins really plays it well. It's a zone defense. It's a 2-deep trap look, and Jenkins comes off of it and takes it away. And just outstanding coverage. As you see Jenkins come up here, Rodgers has to hold on to it, and then the pass rush gets home.
Well, it's 3rd down and 22. The Packers need a chunk of that 22 if they don't get the first down to have a realistic shot at a field goal. Pass is picked off by Sensabaugh. Nelson was the target, and that sack has pushed the Green Bay Packers out of field goal range, and a punt is coming on 4th down.
Yeah, that's excellent work by this Giants defense after the pass interference call on Jenkins that put him down in position to potentially come away with a field goal, and then the sack now forces the punt.
End over end, and a fair catch by Harris. 31-yard punt. 3rd possession for Eli and the Giants as they lead by 3. And welcome back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. 2:09 left, opening quarter, 3-0 Giants. Starting at the 11, and a flag to begin the drive.
False start offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Second-year pro Eric Flowers at left tackle, guilty of the false start. Sunday, February 5th, Pepsi presents the biggest concert of the year, the Pepsi Zero Sugar Super Bowl 51 halftime show. To follow Lady Gaga on her journey to the world's biggest stage, visit PepsiHalftime.com. Here's Jennings on 1st and 15, his first carry in his first playoff game, and he picks up 3.
I know, in talking with Ben McAdoo, and you ask him about Rashad Jennings, and he said, hey, he's the bigger back between he and Paul Perkins. He has Paul Perkins by about 25 pounds, and he says in a game like this, he's a big physical runner, and he's a hard guy to get to the ground. But here in this first quarter, the Giants have struggled trying to get much out of their running game.
Second and 12, it's Jennings again, and there's nothing there. Guyon underneath blew it up, and then Ryan and others cleaned up on the stop. A gain of 1. 3rd and 11 coming.
Well, the Packers are kind of doing what they've done, and they're playing this 2-deep safety look, which is an advantageous look then for the offense to run the ball, but they're just getting whipped up front. Those big guys for that Packers defense is winning the line of scrimmage, and if you can't run the ball versus those looks, then you are going to have a challenging time throwing the football as well, because it allows them to double the outside. The inside receivers then have to be able to win.
Third down and 11, handoff to Jennings, and Jennings is going to be a yard short of a first down. 3 straight runs, and Jennings came up just short with under 30 seconds left in the first quarter. A gain of 10 on 3rd and 11.
I think that was Ben McAdoo just saying, hey, you know, the likelihood of converting, throwing the football, let's try to play the field position game and get as much as we can. Maybe pop one, otherwise we'll just punt it.
Line drive, ugly punt off the foot of Wing, and the drive will start near the 45 of Green Bay. And that's where it will start. You know, we've gone a whole quarter almost and haven't talked about the trip that Odell Beckham and the receivers took to Miami. It's kind of the elephant in the room, and I think the game today is a little different than even the game that you were a part of. Eli Manning kind of tried to take the pressure and the heat off it by throwing a joke in there that he was disappointed, but his disappointment was in their packing and not being ready. And this is this morning when these guys got to the field taking their shirts off and running around Lambeau.
Yeah, well, I'll say to that is, you know, it is true. What guys do on their off season or off day is up to them. But I think as a player, the last thing I ever wanted to do was give the impression to a teammate that I wasn't doing everything that I could to win a football game and get prepared as best I could. And a lot of these guys, Odell Beckham and the others included, starting their first playoff game, I think it was poorly advised.
Play action to Ripkowski, and down goes Rodgers. He had time. Eventually, the time ran out, and a loss of 4. Jay Bromley in there to make the play. Packer fans braving the elements in the cold at Lambeau. So far, the Giants have all the points. This red-hot offense didn't do anything in the opening quarter, just 7 yards, the fewest in any quarter this season. Ran 11 plays, 2 first downs, 1 by penalty. That last sack was credited to Kerry Wynn. In there with Bromley, and now 2nd and 14. Devontae Adams starts the play in the backfield, and this is to nobody. Adams and Geronimo Allison were the 2 receivers in that direction, and pressure by Devon Kennard forced the throw. It's 3rd and 14.
Yeah, they bring a 5-man pressure, and even without Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, they're holding up well in the secondary. I think Steve Spagnuolo here in that first quarter, he's done a good job of mixing things up and giving Aaron Rodgers a lot of different looks. I know the Packers had planned to come into this game and run the ball right at them. They haven't run it very much, and when they have, Ty Montgomery has not had much to show for it. Now they face another 3rd and long.
Rodgers sets up. And down he goes, back near the 25 as Romeo Okwara finally gets there. And Rodgers can find nowhere to throw the ball, a loss of 15.
Well, it just tells you how good the coverage is right now, and they're just playing zone, and the Packers are having a hard time of finding the holes within that, and the pass rush this time around is getting to Aaron Rodgers, and a lot of field position given up on that possession.
The drive started at the 45-yard line, and now the punt from Harris, and Jeff Janis is right on his back. The Packers now, after that 40-yard punt, have -8 yards in this game. After the Super Bowl, the clock resets for more 24. We've got a new day and a new hero. Corey Hawkins stars in 24 Legacy, premiering right after the Super Bowl on Sunday, February 5th, here on Fox. Great work by Steve Spagnuolo and this Giants defense. They came in as hot as the Packers came in on offense, and the Giants on defense winning the battle so far. From the 34. 4th possession, Manning's got Shepard. And Sterling Shepard is spun down just shy of the 49. A gain of 15 by Demarius Randall.
Well, right now Eli Manning is really seeing the field. They go safety help here. They drop Morgan Burnett down, and then the one-on-one matchup is to Sterling Shepard, and he then has to be able to win on that route. He's running a dig route at intermediate distance. An excellent job by him, but Eli Manning seeing the field very well and delivering some good throws.
Here's Perkins. A little dancing this time, and he's to the line of scrimmage, a gain of 1.
That's some pretty tough sledding for him, and you know, all the talk coming into this game, Joe, was about Eli Manning, the playoff Eli, and you know, the runs that he has had, and you know, those Super Bowl runs that he has had. Those games have traveled through Wisconsin, and it will again, obviously, this year if they're able to go on beyond this ball game. But he is playing really well here in this first half, and he's had 3 drops already. Otherwise, the score would be better than it is, but he is delivering some strikes.
As he faces 2nd and 9. Beckham and Gunter at the bottom of the screen. Pass is to Will Tye, and a good strong tackle is made by Jake Ryan. A gain of just 3, so 3rd down coming up.
Well, the Giants here in this game are 2 for 5 on 3rd down, and being able to sustain some of these drives. You know, last week in that win over the Redskins, they got off to a good start there in that first half. Second half, they struggled, had a lot of 3-and-outs, but they have done a good job of at least putting some plays together here in this first half. This play, it's like Dom Capers, he's wanting to bring it.
Well, The play clock was about to expire. A flag's going to be thrown because of that stuff that happened after the whistles. Eli Manning called a timeout before the play clock hit zeros, and we'll get the call here from Ed Hockley.
Timeout, Giants. That's their first. It's a 30-second timeout.
That's interesting that there's no mention of the flag. The flag was thrown at the end of that, and all we heard from Ed Hockley before this little on-camera interlude was timeout Giants. So we'll see if there's a penalty enforced when we turn back around. But so far, this has been a really good start for New York.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, aside from some drop balls, I mean, this would be, as I said, a different ball game as far as score is concerned. But I like what I've seen from Eli. I like what I've seen from this Giants defense. I mean, it's a great matchup against a good unit in the New York Giants, what I think is the best defense in football. And then, of course, this offense that came into this game playing so well. The Giants defense has won that battle up to this point.
Hockley announced that they picked up the flag that was thrown at the end of that play. Each side with 2 timeouts. It's 3rd and 6. Pass is broken up. Good work by Randall. The target was Shepard, and it's 4th down, and Randall is ticked off that he didn't come away with a pick.
Well, this is what I was talking about. They call this a 2-trap defense. So Eli believes that it's man coverage, and that Demarius Randall is going to carry the outside receiver up the field. And so he's going to throw the outside breaking route then to Sterling Shepard. But Randall comes off of it, has a great opportunity to make a play and intercept the ball, and the Giants were fortunate.
Wing nose of the football down end over end, and Hyde on the return outside the 20, brought down by Roger Lewis Jr. See if Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense can get it started. The great Vince Lombardi, who ran the offense for the Giants, then jumped to the Packers, found all the success here in Green Bay. Drive starts at the 22, and it's Rodgers keeping it and firing a strike to Randall Cobb, who's missed the last 2 games with a bad ankle, and he's fired up to be back. 13-yard completion.
Well, when these two teams met before, it was Randall Cobb who had the big game for the Packers, and this is what the Packers like to do. They get Rodgers out on the edge, and it was Trevin Wade that slipped in coverage on Cobb.
Here's Nelson, got free and can't make the catch. Got behind Eli Apple in front of Leon Hall. And now Nelson, after getting the hit, is on all 4s down in the bench area.
See it trying to fit that ball in versus that deep half safety, and it was Leon Hall comes in and puts the hit, and yeah, Jordy Nelson, he goes down immediately, and he has not moved.
We got hit on that left hip by Leon Hall, and we'll keep an eye on that. He's had a hip procedure as well as a torn ACL. It cost him all of last year. No hotter receiver in the league than Jordy Nelson. Handoff is to Montgomery, and Montgomery gets 2. Robert Thomas on the stop, and Jordy seems really hurt. Watch the left hip side of the body of Nelson as Leon Hall comes in.
Right in there in that rib cage areas. It looked like he kind of took the helmet.
It was 11 straight pass plays before that last run, 3rd and 8. Nelson is just now getting back to his feet on the sideline. Blitz. Pass is Davante Adams broken up. And it's the rookie Eli Apple, who has had a great rookie season for the Giants.
Well, he sure has. There were high expectations coming in for him, and he just has gotten better and better each week. And then he took over the starting cornerback position, and DRC had to slide into the nickel play. And you see the job. Initially, Davante Adams makes a play on the ball, but Eli Apple is able to strip him of it. And Packers have yet to convert on a 3rd down.
What a punt by Shum. Back inside the 10. It's Harris. Nowhere to go. Well covered by Green Bay and Blake Martinez. 54-yard punt. Giants have it, still leading by 3. Winner will be announced at the NFL Honors Award Show on February 4th at 8 Eastern on Fox. Starting at the 8, leading by 3 are the Giants. Quick setup and throw, and the pass is caught by Odell Beckham. A short gain of 2. Let's go back to that hit on Jordy Nelson from Leon Hall.
Well, they hit him right there in the ribs, as you see. And these receivers, they don't like to wear that extra padding. Quarterbacks typically have the flak jacket rib protectors, but these receivers don't. And he's in a great deal of pain over on that sidelines. And it does not appear, Joe, we'll find out in moments, but it doesn't look like he's going to be making a return.
2nd and 8. Handoff is to Jennings. He gets loose and has a Giants 1st down. Morgan Burnett on the tackle, but not before Rashad Jennings gets 11.
Well, it's an excellent job by Will Tye. He's able to clear through the hole, and John Jerry, the right guard, he pulls, and Morgan Burnett, he saves what could have been a lot more yards on that one.
Eli Manning looks like Aaron Rodgers getting up to the line. Here is Will Tye. And Tye is down inside the 30. The Giants play the hurry-up game on offense. The Packers were still moving around on defense, and this one good for 51 yards.
Well, you're going to see that he gets down the middle on Blake Martinez. The last time these two teams met, it was Blake Martinez who got beat down the middle by Will Tye as well. So you start worrying about those outside receivers with the safeties, and you double up out there. The middle of the field is where you have to be able to win, and Will Tye comes up with a big play.
That almost doubles his season long. It had been 27. It's a career long of 51 yards on that completion of Will Tye. On 1st down, Manning throws. He's got a man, and it's Cruz. And Victor Cruz, you can hear the Giants fans in attendance serenading Victor Cruz. A gain of 6, back to the completion to Tye.
There's Blake Martinez, 50. He's in man coverage. You see the safety, Clinton Dix, working out over the top, and then you got to be able to win in the middle. And they could have gotten hands to the face there on Eli Manning. He takes the shot, but overall, this offensive line has held up pretty well and given Eli some time and some opportunities to make some plays, and he's delivered.
2nd down and 4. Manning into the end zone, broken up. Beckham was the target with Gunter in coverage, and Beckham came away looking for a flag and doesn't get it.
Well, that was a close one. It's a hard one to call, and as you're going to see, Ladarius Gunter at the end of this, he turns just as the ball's arriving. There's contact there. That's a hard one, I think, for an official to make, and probably a good non-call.
Mike Pereira in our booth is nodding in agreement. Good no call. Now big 3rd down. Manning passes tipped. It's 4th down. There was double coverage on Beckham to start that play, and Manning had to come off him.
Yeah, I'll say it was like treating a gunner in a punt coverage situation. You know, they got 2 guys right up on him on the line of scrimmage. Eli working opposite of that, and Joe Thomas is able to get his hands on the ball.
Beckham still arguing his point on that previous play. Thought he was interfered with by Gunter. Here's Robbie Gould to make it a 6-point game. 40-yard try. He's got it. A long-time Chicago Bear in his 11th game with the Giants. He's 2 for 2 today. 6-0 New York.
I feel like we can run the table.
Touchdown, what a throw. Unbelievable the stretch, they're dangerous. The statement was made by Aaron Rodgers after a 42-24 loss at Washington on November 20th. They had lost 4 straight. Well, since then, they've gone from 4-6 to 10-6. They won the NFC North for the 5th time in the last 6 years. But they trail here. Little pop-up kickoff, and on the move, it's Janis. And Jeff Janis with a good return out near the 45. Leon Hall on the tackle. But the short kickoff results in a 33-yard return.
Yeah, this gave this crowd something to get excited about. He just sits it right up the gut, and a nice return sets up this offense. And I tell you, the Packers right now, looking at it, Joe, they're awfully fortunate to just be down 6 points, because the Giants have dominated this first half. Hard to believe that this offense, here with 7 minutes in the second quarter, just has 7 yards to show for it.
First time all season the Packers haven't scored on their first 4 possessions. On first down, Rodgers. Pass is caught. That's the big tight end, Jared Cook. And he's become more and more of a weapon for Aaron Rodgers as the season is worn on. A gain of 16.
Well, they're going to up the tempo a little bit now, and Jared Cook, he's a guy that Aaron Rodgers has really been happy about and thrilled that they were able to sign him and give him a weapon, someone who can work the middle of the field besides Randall Cobb. And he'll be relied on more now with Jordy Nelson out of the lineup.
23 total yards for the Packers. 16 came on that completion to Cook. From the 40, play action wide open on this side of the field, and what a good play made by Landon Collins, and what a year it's been for the second-year safety out of Alabama. Landon Collins is an all-pro. He had over 100 tackles, 5 interceptions, 4 sacks. He's done it all.
He has done it all, and then he came out and said that he wants to be Lawrence Taylor great, and that's pretty great when you can get that good. And he's well on his way. Boy, his second season, and the confidence that you could see that he began to play with as the year went along. What a terrific young player.
That goes down as the 4th sack of Aaron Rodgers in this half. They had none against Rodgers in week 5. Quick throw, Cook takes it inside the 35 to the 34. Leon Hall with the stop of a much bigger man, a gain of 6.
Yeah, Leon Hall now with Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie out of the lineup. He's the only one in that secondary that even has any playoff experience, and a guy who's got good coverage skills. Came into the league as a corner. He's played more safety here down the stretch for the New York Giants, but every ball has been contested that the Packers have thrown.
Once the Packers huddled up, 3 new defensive linemen came into the game for the Giants to rush Rodgers. 3rd down and 4. Pass is incomplete. And the Giants are looking for a flag for grounding. And the officiating crew will get together and determine if it was. A, was Rodgers under immediate pressure? B, was there a receiver in the area?
Well, he was in the pocket. I think that's a...
And they're going to throw the flag.
Yeah, I think it's a good call. You're going to see he's on the hash. He never moves off the hash. He's right there, and there's nobody even close.
Offense, number 12. There was no receiver in the area. It's a 10-yard penalty. A loss of down brings up 4th down.
And that will knock the Green Bay Packers outside field goal range again.
We've seen that too many times now in this first half when they've been in a position to try to give Mason Crosby an opportunity, and then they knock themselves out of field goal range and force another punt. Well, that offensive line, you look at the numbers and you say they're not blocking very well with the sacks, but there's been time for Rodgers to find an open receiver. The secondary just continues to cover these receivers as they have throughout the season. They are a hard team to throw the football against.
Yeah, I agree with you. Those are coverage sacks because Rodgers has had time. Sometimes has taken forever with the ball back there. Then the time runs out and down he goes. 5:07 left in the half. Shum hits it end over end. Harris from inside the 10. Jeff Janis drags him down. Punt cover team's been good for the Packers. Giants have the ball again inside their 10, up 6. Not exactly 1967 Ice Bowl conditions, but cold nonetheless then and now. Giants have it at their 8, up 6. Second straight time they've started inside their own 10. Perkins in the backfield, and he gets it. Spins off that initial hit. Still doesn't go down, but his forward progress is stopped, a gain of 4. Players down. It's Blake Martinez.
A lot of injuries throughout the year to this defense of the Green Bay Packers, and now got another one on the field.
They check on Martinez, and we'll take a break with 4:44 left in the half. Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern on FS1. Blake Martinez came down on his right knee, injured his right knee last year, and he limps away. This one for DeVaris King. Great coverage, and King is overthrown. Demarius Randall was step for step. And let's go back to the injury on Martinez, number 50. And he
rolled up.
Yeah.
Well, once he was on the ground, he got rolled up on the back of his legs. And I'll tell you what, right now, you think about this Giants team, Joe. On the one hand, you feel good the way that they've been able to move the football, and they've really controlled this first half. On the other hand, not coming away with more points. It's still just a tight game with 6-0, as much as they have dominated this first half of play.
Giants are 2 for 7 on third down. They missed 4 straight and now 5 straight as Manning is sacked. And it's the veteran Julius Peppers who comes up celebrating.
They put Odell Beckham in the slot, and he's running a shallow crossing route, and Eli Manning just not able to find anywhere to go with the ball. And as he steps up, then here comes Julius Peppers. And for a guy who has been doing it as long as he has, he can still rev it up. And he has come on strong here in the second half of the season. He's a playoff captain. It tells you it was voted on by his teammates how well respected he is in that locker room.
Number 5 on the all-time sack list. Line drive punt. A chance for Hyde if he can find a little room. And he's going to take it to inside the 40, knocked down near the 36-37. A 7-yard return after just a 37-yard line drive punt. How about the secondary for the Giants? As led by this man, Landon Collins, they've done a good job this entire half.
Well, they've been good all year long. I think when you look at their passing yardage ranking, you come away saying, well, they're not that good, but they are hard to throw the football against. 17 interceptions on the year, just 15 touchdown passes against them. There has been nowhere for Aaron Rodgers to throw the football, and they're going to have to shut it down again because the Packers have great field position with a chance to take the lead if they're able to come away with a touchdown on this possession.
Best starting field position. It's at the 38 of the Giants. After that sack by Peppers, they go for Adams. Hit in stride. Working on the rookie Eli Apple, and what a throw for 31.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to see Leon Hall. It looks like a double, and then he works back to the middle. And as soon as Rodgers sees that rotation, he knows he's got one-on-one on the outside with a guy who he has great confidence in. A good release off the line of scrimmage. He beats Eli Apple, and Rodgers puts it on the money.
The 31-yard completion. The Packers had only 29 yards of offense before that throw. First and goal. See if they can run it. It's Montgomery to the 5. Olivier Vernon was in on the tackle, wasn't alone, a gain of 2.
Well, we'll see what happens here. We talked about it as far as the red zone. This is the #1 red zone defense in football. The New York Giants, and the Packers, they do a pretty good job of their own coming away with touchdowns in this position. They're 10th in the NFL. I tell you what, last week Aaron Rodgers got off to a tough start against the Detroit Lions, and then he heated up, and it doesn't take but one play like he just threw to get the confidence back in your wide receivers.
Well, they haven't run the ball at all in this first half. 2nd and goal. Rodgers scanning, time running out again. What a play! Adams, touchdown! Rodgers is fearless, and Adams hung on.
Talked about this offensive line and the protection that they have afforded Aaron Rodgers. Watch Brian Bulaga, the right tackle, throughout this play, and the job that he does in allowing Rodgers to navigate everybody else. He's blocking Aguara, and it allows then Adams to just work against Cody Sensabaugh, and you just can't do it. As good as his coverage is, you allow him to sit back there, eventually he's going to find someone open.
And with that, the Packers lead by 1.
Even with that, that had to be a perfectly thrown ball in order for Adams to make the play on that.
Well, we know a couple of things. First of all, the offensive line for the Green Bay Packers, despite the sacks, and there have been 4 of them by the Giants, they continue to play well. We also know that this Giants defense has traveled well into the postseason. And here they are playing a very good first half at Lambeau Field, because the offense is misfired with opportunity. They trail by 1.
Well, that's been the key. I mean, like I said a moment ago, as good as the Giants have been here through the first half, when you're coming away with field goals and you're just one play away from the Packers being able to take a lead, it's no place to feel comfortable, and yet they missed some opportunities, like you said, with some drop balls. Could have come away with some touchdowns, and it'll be a heck of a second half.
By the way, Green Bay will receive the second half kickoff, but right now Eli Manning is going to have 2 timeouts in his pocket as he trails for the first time here in this one. The winner of this game goes to Dallas for a late Sunday start in Arlington, Texas. Harris on the return from just outside the end zone. Nice move. Good return out across the 30. Knocked down at the 32 and a 31-yard return, and the key play on that touchdown drive, the completion to Adams.
He just flat out runs. Eli Apple up the sidelines, and Rodgers finds him, and that's one thing this Giants defense has done throughout the year, is give up big plays in the passing game. And here's the pass protection that's excellent, and Rodgers just puts it right on the spot.
Fair to say that another quarterback at some point, with all that jumping around back there that Aaron Rodgers just did, would have gotten rid of the football, and he just wants to bleed every second out of every play. As on that last play, there was an injury to Josh Hawkins, one of the defensive backs, but he pops up and walks off.
I think it's why we've seen those sacks. The one he ran out of bounds, but the other 3, you know, you get a comfort level where you just feel that you're going to be afforded that protection, and he's had it. He's had it throughout this season. Typically, for most quarterbacks, there's a clock that goes off in your head, and you say, I've got to get rid of it. But he knows as long as no one's kind of getting close to him, he can hang in there and just try to find someone to get the ball to, and he does it as well as anybody in the game.
Maybe ever. From the 32, Perkins, Peppers. Gain of 1.
They're trying to call timeout, yeah, and he gets it. I was going to say, I thought that Mike McCarthy might call the timeout and force the Giants' hand and maybe get one more crack at this thing before the half.
You're right. He was given a timeout before the 2-minute warning, even though you can see the game clock got down to 2 minutes. Here comes Ed Hockey.
2-minute warning. There was a timeout called. Please reset the clock to 2:04. 2:04.
So now you have one timeout left, the 2-minute warning, and you hope to get the ball back in the hands of Aaron Rodgers in this offense. So the Green Bay offense, Troy, has lost Jordy Nelson, and the Giants defense has lost Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Blake Martinez is questionable on his return, but that's a big weapon on each side. Nelson on offense, DRC on defense, in that good matchup with the Green Bay offense against the Giants D.
And as we've seen from the Packers back to last week, Geronimo Allison, he comes in and he does his thing. So they've got some young guys that they can throw out there. But I know Steve Spagnuolo has some answers of his own.
Bobby Rainey in the backfield next to Manning on 2nd and 9. There's Rainey. He's going to be knocked down a yard short of a first down. And we're at the 2-minute warning at Lambeau. 7-6 Packers. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL.
So this Packers defense is 3rd worst in the NFL this season, stopping people on 3rd and 1. And if the Giants are able to pick this up, they're then in a position to come away with some points of their own.
Instead of Perkins, it's Rainey on the carry on 3rd and 1, and that's surprising to say the least. It's 4th down, and a timeout is going to be taken here by Green Bay.
Yeah, it's a good timeout by Green Bay. They're going to get the ball back now and make a big stop here on 3rd and 1, and there was just no movement whatsoever. No opportunity there for Bobby Rainey to pick that up.
It was a 34-second drive because of the timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but Giants fans have to be wondering. Paul Perkins is 4 for 4 on 3rd down and 1 this year, and you hand it to the littler back, 5'8", 212, compared to a guy like Jennings even, who's 6'1", 230, and Rainey gets nothing, and Aaron Rodgers is about to head back onto the field. That's a strange call to me.
Well, they use Bobby Rainey in some of these hurry-up, no-huddle offenses, and I think they had thoughts that they pick this up, and then they go right into their hurry-up, and just was no opportunity whatsoever. And now we'll see whether or not this Giants defense once again can come up with a stop. But Aaron Rodgers is going to have an opportunity with time on the clock to do something here before the end of this half.
Good snap. Wing hits a beauty. Driven to the sideline and out of bounds at the 20. And now Mike Pereira, as the Packers go back on offense, they do so without Jordy Nelson, who took that big hit along the sideline. Tell us more about this hit by Leon Hall.
Yeah, I actually do, Joe. I missed it the first time through, but it is an illegal hit. You cannot lead with the crown of your helmet and hit a defenseless receiver, which Jordy was, anywhere in his body. It's not just the head or neck area. With the crown, that's where Hall got him. He'll probably get a little letter from the league even after this game.
So Nelson is out for Green Bay. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie hasn't been seen since the second play from scrimmage for the Packers. From the 20, a minute 38 left, and they start with a run. It's Montgomery getting 9. Keenan Robinson on the tackle.
A lot of times to start the no-huddle hurry-up offense, you throw something short, complete the pass, kind of get the defense on their heels. They run the ball, they get a nice gain, 9 yards. They're on 1st down, and off they go.
Montgomery has been 4 carries for 7 yards. Before that was tipped. Montgomery was the target. We'll see who got a hand on that before 3rd down and 1. See if it was Landon Collins, who's just a do-everything player for Steve Spagnuolo Number 21 got it with his right hand.
Well, it's a good job by him, because if Montgomery gets that, he's capable of making one guy miss. There's a lot of field.
First down carry for Montgomery. 6-yard carry on 3rd and 1.
A lot of two deep looks right now by this Giants defense. That means they're giving help on the outside. The middle of the field is where Rodgers will likely work.
He does here. Pass is caught in midfield. That's Randall Cobb. Gain of 15 and a first down with 44 seconds left. Sideline, Adams. Incomplete and underthrown.
I know Aaron Rodgers, happy to get Aaron Rodgers back in the game, and he says we're at our best when Cobb is a part of the lineup, and he goes down low and is able to make the catch. Right now, you look at where they're at, Joe, in midfield. They've got, you know, in these conditions, like I said, it's anybody's guess as to what these kickers are going to be able to do, but 40-yard line, they get a chance then to give Mason Crosby at least an opportunity. I would match his long.
2nd and 10. Dumped off to Montgomery. Blockers can't get out of bounds. Sensible made the stop. And so the clock winds with 21 seconds left. They have a tough time getting the ball down for the snap. Well, it's 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Pass is caught, now dropped as Keenan Robinson popped it out. And with 6 seconds left, Jared Cook couldn't hang on.
Well, it's good he didn't. If he catches that, the clock runs out and the half is over, and that's why you say, well, it's 3rd down, but if he clocks it, stops the clock, then do you try the field goal or not? It's at this point beyond Mason Crosby's range. Now they'll take a shot down the field. They could come out with something quick and try to get the ball out and then out of bounds and pick up a few yards and maybe giving them an opportunity for a field goal.
That's what they have to hope for. Giants looking for a stop. They're going to air it out. Rodgers does this better than anybody. End zone, Cobb, touchdown! Unbelievable!
Giants secondary as the safety players, you've got to get deeper than the deepest guys. Leon Hall, he throttles at the goal line, and then Cobb is able to get in behind everybody. Eli Apple back there as well. Landon Collins. It's inexplicable as to how you allow any offensive players in front of you in a Hail Mary type situation.
Man, who does that better than Aaron Rodgers? And with that, it's an 8-point Packer lead. Visa halftime is coming up. Little turnabout. The Giants did that to the Packers before half here in 2011. Now Aaron Rodgers to Randall Cobb and an 8-point halftime lead. Today's excitement is brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. That was today's excitement, brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. Temperature has dropped 2 degrees since we started, but it feels like 4 degrees, where earlier it felt like 2 degrees. Here's that last play and the Hail Mary that was caught by Randall Cobb.
Yeah, Joe, I thought at the time when the ball was snapped that once they saw that Aaron was not going to throw the ball quickly, then obviously they're in a Hail Mary situation, and the Giants just did not get any depth with their safeties or anyone else, and Cobb is allowed to get in behind them. And you know, there was a little bit of a push, but in a jump ball Hail Mary type situation, they're not going to make that call unless you pull the guy down. There's no excuse as a defensive back to allow a receiver in behind you. You've got to guard against the back line and then move up to where the ball's being thrown.
And think about a couple of things. First of all, there's no way the Giants secondary doesn't miss Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie in that spot. He's so good. His ball skills are off the charts as a defensive player. And then there's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they're going to have to rename the Hail Mary. He hit Richard Rodgers last year at Detroit in the regular season. He hit Jeff Janis in the playoff game in Arizona. And now he gets Randall Cobb here in a wild card playoff game at the end of the half. And it reminded, I'm sure, Giants fans and Packer fans of the Hakeem Nicks Hail Mary that worked, thrown by Eli Manning here in the 2011 playoff game that added to a Giants lead at the half. The first half stats, everybody was pulling out the record books. Prior to the final 2 minutes and 20 seconds of that first half, the Packers hadn't scored, and you would have had to go back to 2002 in a playoff game against Atlanta when they went a half of football without scoring, and then they get 14 points in the last 2:20.
That's why I said, as much as the Giants had dominated, 58 minutes of that first half, they only had 6 points to show for it because they could not finish and they couldn't catch the football.
Here is the aforementioned Jeff Janis, who's got a little lane. Ball comes out. He gets back on top. And it was Dwayne Harris who made the hit and the tackle. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
Joe, at the end of the half, there was a stunned look on the face of the Giants as they went into the locker room. But when they came out here for the start of the third quarter, their heads were up with an air of confidence. I did ask Coach Ben McAdoo, did he say anything to his receivers about the drops? He said, yeah, I told him to look the ball in and tuck it away. Our offense will be fine. We're going to be more explosive in the second half. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, they're going to try and give him something for pain for that thigh bruise and that quad. They hope to get him back out there.
Well, they need him in this defensive lineup. As I said, coming off NFC Defensive Player of the Week for his effort at Washington in Week 17. From the 29, a toss to Montgomery. Casillas on the stop, and down to Aaron Andrews we go.
Joe, the news not so good for the Packers offense. Mike McCarthy telling me Jordy Nelson is out of this game with a rib injury. He also said, with going into the half with that amazing Hail Mary touchdown, he said we still weren't able to get any rhythm going, and he did stress to Aaron Rodgers he's going to need some cleaner throws, and he told me they need more of a run balance here in the second half. He said he's going to call on guys and tell them with Nelson out, we've got to go with what we are comfortable calling with some of these young receivers out there.
They've got young receivers, guys like Geronimo Allison. Right now it's Cook, Adams, Rodgers avoids the sack and still can't find anybody to get it to. Pressured by Leon Hall. Hall couldn't bring him down. And here it is.
Now Leon Hall, he comes a little bit flat, and then Rodgers is able to escape. But to follow up on what Aaron Andrews said, that first of all, I believe that without Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, I think there are some blitzes that this Giants team worked on that they are not able to use as easily when you don't have one of your key corners then in the lineup. But yes, offensively, as Mike McCarthy said, I think he planned on running the football more than he was able to in that first half, and is hoping to maybe get back to it here to start this second half.
That, by the way, goes down as the 5th sack of the game for the Giants on defense. Here's a pass caught by Jared Cook, but short of the first down. So a good start defensively for the Giants. And they force a 3-and-out to begin this second half.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of momentum taken away from the Giants, the way that first half ended, and to come out then and then have to give the ball back to the Packers to start this second half to make a stop like that was a huge possession for the defense, and they answered.
You saw Odell Beckham Jr. going back to return the punt. He stays away. And the punt goes backward. Let's see who touched it and who ends up with it. It belongs to the Giants. So the Giants have it. As they get on this football, it was Kelvin Shepherd Down 8 is New York. Some of the greatest players in the history of the NFL have played for these two franchises. Each organization has won 4 Super Bowls. It's a first down carry for Perkins. Cuts back, has room, and Perkins takes it to the 40. Where he's met by Morgan Burnett, but a carry of 14 yards to start the drive.
Well, the Packers start out. They got the 2 deep safeties, and therefore the running game has got to be able to get going. And Paul Perkins has had a tough evening so far running the football, but he's able to break one there on first down, and that's going to continue to be a key in this game. And balance things up, take some of the pressure off of this offensive line in the passing game by running the ball effectively when you get some of those looks.
14-yard carry, the longest rush of the game by either side. Quick throw, and Beckham can't come back with a one-handed grab. So second down and 10. You get an idea of what kind of a guy Rashad Jennings is when early in the year he talked about Paul Perkins. And he said, I told him before the season, see yourself as the starter. See yourself as the future of this team. And that's from Rashad, who started the year as the main man, and he has lost his hold on the running back position to the rookie from UCLA.
Well, before that last run by Paul Perkins, Rashad Jennings, he had kind of been the hot guy. Even though he'd run the ball just 4 times, he had run it effectively, and maybe we'd see a little bit more of him here.
Second and 10. There's Beckham over the middle. And Odell Beckham is out of bounds, short of a first down, a gain of 8. Well, defending Beckham and how the Packers gone about doing it.
He's going to draw a lot of attention, and like I said, they moved him around, they put him in the slot. It makes it a little more challenging, but you see the look out there on the outside, and that's what they gave him a lot of the first time they met. They ran a guy in a trail technique in man, and they had a safety over the top. But Eli Manning is going to look for him. He's the second most targeted wide receiver in all of football. That's not going to change in this game.
Here's a quick throw, and there he is for a first down, his 4th catch to the Green Bay 45. And he got some hits at the end of that play.
Couldn't tell if the ball came out there.
It did, but I believe the play had been whistled dead, so the Giants will hurry it up now on first down after the 7-yard completion. Quick snap. Gunter wasn't in position on Beckham. Underneath it's Perkins with it's an incomplete pass as the ball came out. Ryan was on Perkins' back. When Perkins went to the ground, the ball came out.
You see Gunner, he's trying to get over there because Odell Beckham ran all the way to the top of the screen, and then Morgan Burnett, he's trying to get over the top and a fire drill trying to get number 13 covered.
Packers defense getting a taste of what other defenses deal with when they have to figure out Aaron Rodgers and the quick snaps. Second and 10.
They're traveling Gunner with him right now. And
toss to Perkins. Surveys, comes to his left. Clinton Dix in on the stop. Closed on it in a hurry. A carry of 4, third down coming up.
Turn this in now to a manageable third down, and like I say, you convert these third downs at this part of the field, then you're going to have a chance to get points. This is an important third down now for the New York Giants.
Giants are 3 for 10 on third down. We're 28th in the league during the regular season converting. Blitz. Manning just got rid of it, incomplete. Peppers ends up on top of Manning. And it's 4th down.
Well, it's Peppers working against Eric Flowers and just a speed rush, and that's what Flowers has struggled with all year long. And at a time when Eli Manning really needed some protection, he got the look that he wanted. He was going to the right person with the football. He had a chance, but Flowers' protection doesn't hold up, and it forces a punt.
Peppers. Clay Matthews came away looking for a flag on Flowers for hands to the face. They didn't get the flag, but they forced the punt, and Micah Hyde with a fair catch at the 10. Packers get the football back with an 8-point lead here at home at Lambeau. Watch every live 2017 NFL playoff game in HD, all data free on NFL Mobile. An 11-degree night at the moment at Lambeau.
Yeah, see.
Second possession for the Packers, second half up 8.
We 19. We 19.
Kristen Michael, his first carry, cuts it back. Now heads upfield and picks up 10. Tries to fire up this crowd after getting through Landon Collins early in this run.
He's been over there on the sidelines all day, just trying to stay warm, waiting for his opportunity to get in the game, and he's an exciting guy when he gets the ball in his hands. I think he was an excellent pickup on this Packers team when they needed to try to get a running game going. He's a good complement to what they're doing with Ty Montgomery. Had a nice gain there on first down.
Longest Packer run of the game, 10 yards.
We 19. We 19.
They stick with it. And realize that Kristen Michael was drafted one spot behind Eddie Lacy. Lacy is out with the ankle injury, free agent to be. Michael's bounced around a couple of times with Seattle, and now here he is in Green Bay.
A couple times with Seattle. That's where he was drafted, and it's been quite a journey for Kristen Michael. He only knows one speed. For those of you that haven't seen him run the ball before, what you've just witnessed on those last 2 runs, that's what he has. I mean, he's 100 miles an hour in practice, and he's 100 miles an hour in the games.
We 19. We 19.
Second and 6, 4 consecutive carries and another first down. Collins on the stop after a gain of 8.
Well, TJ Lang, you're going to see the job. You got to move Damon Harrison if you're going to run the football against the New York Giants. TJ Lang, he's a Pro Bowl right guard, and then of course Damon Harrison just got named to the All-Pro team. That's a heck of a matchup right there. TJ Lang wins that one and gets a nice gain for Kristen Michael.
Yeah. Ready, touch.
Another one from Michael. And you know better than I that these offensive linemen, for as much as they enjoy playing with Aaron Rodgers, they love to run block, come off the snap, and go forward.
I've never known a lineman that did not want to run the football, and this is what I thought we were going to see when the game started. This is what Mike McCarthy talked to us about yesterday. He said we're going to come out running the football and we're going to run it right at them, and we hadn't seen it until this second half right now.
Hey, alert. I got you. Push it. We 19. We 19.
Play action now. Ripkowski underneath. Landon Collins delivers the blow. And the fullback they love here now in Green Bay was knocked out right at the marker.
Aaron Ripkowski, what a year he's had. And yeah, they love their fullbacks. They loved John Kuhn when he was here, and that was a tough departure for everyone in this organization when he left. But Aaron Ripkowski has stepped in, and coming off a huge game last week in that win against the Detroit Lions, and what a versatile guy he is. And I know Mike McCarthy loves what they're able to do with him. They got him back here in the backfield right now. I'd expect him to get the ball.
Here we go.
Third and less than 1. Trying to get the Giants to jump, and he uses the timeout. The Giants wouldn't bite. Third and less than a yard when we come back. The offensive leaders for the Green Bay Packers before this 3rd and 1, playing without Jordy Nelson, who was injured in the first half on this hit from Leon Hall. Ripkowski in the backfield. And he gets it. And there's nowhere to go. Fighting for it. And they stopped him. First guy there was Jonathan Hankins, and it's 4th down.
This been a down and distance for this offense all year long. That's been a real challenge. They just have not had a lot of success on 3rd and 1, and with an opportunity to continue with this possession, the Giants defense, they tighten up, and they're able to keep Aaron Ripkowski from picking up that first down. Just no real movement of any kind, and Landon Collins comes. Well, there's a face mask, right? Jonathan Hankins got a hold there of the face mask that they missed.
4th down. What a job by Steve Spagnuolo's defense, and there's no sign of the punt team yet for Green Bay. There's the face mask underneath.
I'm surprised that was missed. But I don't know, Mike McCarthy, I'm surprised if he's thinking about going for it here.
He is. He's going to bring in an extra offensive lineman, Jason Spriggs, a rookie out of Indiana, 2nd-round pick. And how about this, at his own 42+, going for it, leading by 8 with 6.5 third quarter left.
I don't like this call. I think you get a chance right now. The momentum, is still with the Packers based on what happened there at the end of that first half. They make a stop here. They're going to definitely change that and give the ball back to the Giants with great field position.
Hold on. 9-1. Hey, 5-2. I'm going.
You guys good here?
Yeah.
We 19.
Montgomery, a tailback, gets it and is stuffed. What a play by this terrific Giants defense. Jonathan Casillas was the first guy there, but he brought with him plenty of teammates. And we'll see how that changes the momentum here in this wild card playoff game.
Well, right there, Jonathan Casillas, he takes on Aaron Ripkowski, and actually, no, it was Landon Collins that came up and took on the fullback, Aaron Ripkowski, and just gave Ty Montgomery, really, it was disrupted right there. The pushback by Jonathan Casillas through Lane Taylor, and it's a great job of controlling the trenches and winning at the line of scrimmage, and now giving your offense a great opportunity.
What a job by the Giants on defense, and see what Eli Manning and company do with that. Handoff is to Perkins, nothing. Now, if you're a member of the Packers defense, coordinated by Dom Capers, you're looking for something in that same category as they force a 2nd and 10.
I am a little surprised that we haven't seen a little bit more of Rashad Jennings running the football. And Paul Perkins, even though he has been the guy here in the last month, and he's given this offense a real spark, it's been challenging. And Rashad Jennings was able to do a few things with the carries that he's had, but they haven't really gone back to him.
Manning protected. Down the field, pass is caught for the touchdown. Tavares King. The first-year player out of Georgia, who had a big catch last week at Washington, gets in, and it's a 2-point game. 2 plays after the defensive stop, a 41-yarder to King.
Well, you're going to see Clinton Dix. He jumps the crossing route, and then Demarius Randall is outside leverage. Tavares King just going to the post, and the amount of space that he has, just uncontested. It looked like Demarius Randall was expecting Clinton Dix to help him on any inside breaking routes, but with the inside receiver taking the middle, he jumps it and opens up a huge hole.
The extra point is good. And what a turn of events. It started with a defensive stop on 4th down and less than 1. Collins and Casillas made the play. 2 plays later, Tavares King, first touchdown, and it's a 1-point game. How about picking this time for his first career touchdown? Tavares King, who had a terrific preseason, then made only 2 catches during the regular year. How about Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie limping out there on special teams to cover this kick. Tavares King good from 41 yards on the throw by Eli Manning. It's a 1-point game. Kristen Michael on the return. And Michael has given this Packer offense and now the special teams a little spark. And it was Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, bad leg and all, in there on the tackle. Somehow, some way. The Packers nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year is Jaron Elliott. During a visit back to his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, Jaron made it a priority to go visit the local boys and girls. The winner will be announced at the NFL Honors Award Show on February 4th at 8 Eastern on Fox. Michael stays in the lineup.
We 19. We 19.
Michael gets it right side, and he got smoked. Damon Harrison in the middle of it. And Harrison, the all-pro, made that play. How does Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, 41, with his bad leg, get in on the tackle like that? And they had to help him up at the end of it.
Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but Ben McAdoo, he kicks the extra point. You know, the chart would say go for 2 and try to tie it up, and I agree with the decision not to and kick the extra point. You know, a lot of time left in this game. It seems that you don't make that, then you're constantly chasing that 1 point. I think it was a good decision by him, just taking the extra point, keeping it a one-point game.
Second down. Here's Cook. Pass is caught. Tackle broken. First down. Out to midfield is Jared Cook, the former Titan and Ram, and now in his first year with Green Bay, good for 13.
Well, it's nice when you got a big man who can beat man coverage. And he's able to beat Jonathan Casillas, you know, on the crossing route. It's excellent work.
There's the day for Cook. 5 catches, 48.
5-7. Love it. On the front.
Play action. There's Adams. Gets loose to the 30.
Runs a slant route, and Trevin Wade, he comes up and is not able to get his hands on him. And these receivers can line up in a lot of different positions. It tells you that, you know, they're bright guys, and it's not always an easy thing for some of them to do. And without Jordy Nelson, who they like to use in that position as well, they take advantage of some of the things that Devontae Adams can do. And then, of course, Randall Cobb is someone who works the middle often also, and that's where he is on this play.
Looks like Rodgers is getting a hot hand. There's Cobb. There's a touchdown. Green Bay.
This is why Aaron Rodgers says they're better when Randall Cobb's on the field. Look at the move that he puts on Trevin Wade. There in the slot. That's the position that Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie would be manning if he was on the field. And they come after him, and Randall Cobb just puts a veteran move on him and gives Aaron Rodgers nothing but open field to lay the ball. And that looked easy for the Green Bay Packers.
Extra point is good. And what was a defensive battle for the majority of the first half has turned into a bit of a shootout. Last shot fired by Rodgers to Cobb. Packers up 8. Well, Aaron Rodgers is heating it up now. It's a 21-13 game. And Eli Manning, with an offense that hasn't scored as many as 20 points over the previous 5 games, is going to have to step it up, as it looks like we could be in a bit of a shootout here down the stretch. On a cold night in Green Bay. That was a mistake by Bobby Rainey. Out of bounds at the 3. Instead of letting the ball go out of bounds, Rainey goes out of bounds. Oops.
He knows it too. Just a big mistake on his part. And now this crowd into it, and you're backed up inside the 5-yard line, and that big call sheet that Ben McAdoo's holding in his hand, there's not much to call from backed up in this position on the field.
Jennings back in the lineup for New York. Good protection. Pass is caught by Will Tye, who has really developed into a pretty solid NFL tight end from Stony Brook, the free agent. He's taken over that position. Good for 6.
Well, he sure has. He made a nice play in the first half of this game down the middle of the field, but has really come along. Larry Donnell was manning that tight end position to start the year, and then Will Tye's taken over, and he's never given it up.
Little breathing room after that completion, and this one is off the hands of Will Tye. Good defensive work by Jake Ryan. The highly anticipated new FX Original Series Taboo from Ridley Scott and Tom Hardy. It's set in 1814 and stars Hardy as a rogue adventurer who plays a dangerous game between Britain and America. Taboo premieres Tuesday at 10. Only on Fox, on FX, and now it's 3rd down and 4. You see what's happened on 3rd down since a good start.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Capers is going to bring any extra rushers.
They don't. Manning has it batted into the air, and no signal yet. Incomplete. Morgan Burnett did not secure the interception before it hit the ground.
Well, it sure looked like he had it, didn't it?
That's a good
right
call.
There, it is a good call. It's a nice job by the officials. It goes to the ground, comes out, but boy, in real time, it sure looked to me like Morgan Burnett made a heck of a play on that ball. Backed up, things get awfully tight. And now the punt by Brad Wing, and going to set up the Green Bay Packers once again in excellent field position.
The Giants were sleeping on the sideline. The punt team's out there, and they've got players just trickling late onto the field. The play clock hasn't been started. And now it is. Wing from the end zone. Hyde waiting for it. Line drive punt. Micah Hyde back near the 40. To the sideline. Wrestled down near the 37 by B.J. Goodson. And whatever momentum was lost on that failed 4th down try by Mike McCarthy in this Packers offense has been regained with the touchdown to Cobb, and now the defensive work after Rainey stepped out of bounds on the kick return.
Well, the Bobby Rainey play now, when you look at it, we'll see what happens here with the Green Bay Packers and what they're able to do with this drive. But that Bobby Rainey mistake that backed them up inside the 5-yard line could very well cost the Giants some points.
That was a 23-yard return by Micah Hyde, his season long.
With this Packers offense, they just simply do not turn the ball over, but the Giants need to try to create one defensively.
Play action, Rodgers out to his left. Adams out of bounds inside the 15. And all this is a trickle-down effect from Rainey hauling in that kickoff and stepping out of bounds at the 3, and now the completion to Davante Adams.
Well, he's on the far right side of the field, and then he's running the deep crossing route, and it just shows you the things that Aaron Rodgers is able to do. He's so accurate with the football, regardless of where he's at, where he's running, to his left, to his right, off balance. Terrific throw.
Adams wasn't ready for it. Second down and 10. Aaron Rodgers came into this game having gone 245 straight pass attempts with no interceptions. That's the longest streak of his career. Now he's attempted 29 in this game. The last interception he has thrown week 10 at Tennessee, Parrish Cox, on November 13th, and you see what he's done in the pocket. And then that rare rollout to his left on the completion to Adams a moment ago. He's been deadly out of the pocket. Just got it away on second down. Michael nowhere. Hankins in there.
Well, this would be a huge win for this Giants defense if they're able to make a stop here and force a field goal. They're at a real disadvantage when you give the ball to Aaron Rodgers where they got it.
Interested viewer watching this game, no doubt. The legendary, the great, the gentleman, Bart Starr. 83rd birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Mr. Starr, from all of us.
Middle of the field wide open.
On 3rd and 10. Rodgers. End zone incomplete. Sensabaugh defending against Randall Cobb. Crowd wants a flag. They won't get it, but Crosby will come on for the field goal try.
Yeah, this was good coverage, and this is what Rodgers is able to do. He's just trying to throw Cobb open and throw it to his back shoulder and give him a chance. I know the crowd, you hear them, they're wanting a pass interference. I didn't see much there, Mike, and I know you're saying no as well. And
yeah,
good non-call.
When you get the verification from Pereira, he says good no call. Now 32-yard try by Crosby, who has hit an NFL record 21 consecutive postseason field goals. What a run he's been on, and a guy. Well, this is now an 11-point game. Mike McCarthy, I'm sure part of his thinking when he went for it on 4th down is, we're leading by 8. I've got Aaron Rodgers. It sends a message if we get the first down and could really demoralize the Giants. They go for it with Ty Montgomery. The Giants defense is up to the task. And then what, 2 plays later, Eli throws a touchdown to Tavares King. And Aaron Rodgers goes down and answers right back, and they've added more since then.
I think that was the key thing that you said there, is that they have Aaron Rodgers, and when you have him, it affords you the luxury of being able to try to do a lot of different things, and they've rattled off 10 unanswered points.
This one over the head of Bobby Rainey. How about most wins at Lambeau all-time postseason? And Eli Manning is on that list behind Brett Favre, Bart Starr, the birthday boy tomorrow, tied with Aaron Rodgers. You think about the success here at Lambeau for the Packers. They went 11-0 as the home team in the postseason through 2001. This is the 60th year of play at Lambeau Field, which opened in 1957 as City Stadium. Manning looking for his 3rd postseason win here, down by 11.
We got Rashad Jennings back in the lineup now. We'll see if they can get anything going with him running the ball.
That'll be 5 yards. It was either going to be a false start or a delay of game, and it's a false start.
False start offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty for 4th down.
It's Marshall Newhouse who has regained his starting spot at right tackle.
He's got to protect the inside on Julius Peppers, and jumps the gun and backs him up.
Delayed handoff to Jennings. Mike Daniels on his back. A gain of 4, and that'll end the third quarter here at Lambeau Field. Giants and Eli Manning have won the previous 2 postseason games between New York and Green Bay here at Lambeau. After 3, Green Bay up 11. Back after this from your local Fox station. Fourth quarter rolls in. It feels like 1 degree. Temperature is actually 11 at Lambeau. It's second down. And 11 for Eli Manning, and the Giants down by 11. Four-man rush. Manning steps into it, throws, and it is nearly picked off as Clinton Dix and Jake Ryan came together on Odell Beckham.
Well, an interesting route by Odell Beckham. He drops inside, he takes the middle, and then it's just straight up the hash. And you know, the safety working over the top, but just trying to squeeze it in. And like I said, he's the one guy that Eli is definitely going to look to try to make a play and give him a chance. And you know, they've been running Ladarius Gunner, number 36 for the Green Bay Packers. He's been traveling with Odell Beckham, and then he gets a little help from the safeties as well. But they've got 2 guys on Beckham throughout this game.
3rd and 11. There's Beckham, and it's off his hands. And right or wrong, fair or not fair, when you do what Beckham and the receiver crew did on the off day Monday, and that pass was a little too deep for Odell Beckham, but he has not been the typical presence or weapon in this game. People will go back and point out that trip.
Those are 2 drops that he's got in this game, and they're costly. And that ball, I don't know why he jumped. If he runs, he runs right through the catch, and it was a well-thrown ball, and you got to make that play. You don't get more open than that in the NFL. And those are 2 huge drops by Odell Beckham.
Here's Hyde from back inside the 25. Micah Hyde, flag is down. Looked like a block in the back right after the catch by Micah Hyde. It's a 55-yard punt by Brad Wing. And again, fair or not, when you do that, you're going to put a spotlight and a target right on your back and say, look at me. And now when the team needs you, he's got to step up.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, you gave the public and you gave teammates, you gave people in the locker room, you gave everybody here at this game and everybody watching an opportunity to weigh in on it and say whether or not it impacted the performance. And the scrutiny is intense when you drop the ball. Regardless of the trip, you got to make those plays.
Long conference with the officials. Looked like a block in the back. That's what Mike Pereira is thinking as well, but no call yet. It's cold down there for these guys too.
Yeah, we saw Ed Hockley before the game. He was telling us
during the return, illegal block in the back by the receiving team, number 88. It's a 10-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. It's first down.
Ed Hockley was talking about all the precautions he was going to try to stay warm down there on the field. There's the block in the back that they called. Didn't look like much, really.
On time, Montgomery.
He was wearing some kind of neoprene suit.
Yeah, wetsuit. A neoprene wetsuit Ed Hockley is wearing underneath that uniform.
I'm surprised he told us. He'd want us to think that he was just jacked up.
San Diego resident in a game here at Lambeau Field where it feels like it's 1 degree. First down, Packers leading by 11. Taking over at their own 20 after the foul called against Ty Montgomery. Quick throw, pass caught. Adams. And if you don't know Davante Adams, he's a guy with 997 receiving yards in the regular season and 12 touchdowns. You can see your favorite NFL players show off their impressive talents and strength and speed. Tune into the new Pro Bowl Skills Showdown on Thursday, January 26th at 7 Eastern. And don't miss the 2017 Pro Bowl presented by Aquafina on the 29th of January at 8 Eastern on ESPN. On first down, Rodgers downfield. Geronimo Allison overthrown. Aaron Andrews, what's going on down there?
Well, just thinking back to our conversation yesterday with Davante Adams, and we were asking him about the weather, playing in it, and he said, well, I'm not wearing sleeves, and I learned this lesson when I was a rookie. Edgar Bennett working with the wide receivers, telling his wide receivers, you better not wear long sleeves. I talked to Bennett about it today, and he said, listen, I just don't want him to be soft mentally. And I said, well, yeah, but the guys are saying now that you're the offensive coordinator, you're not on them about it. And he goes, I got a lot more to worry about than what they're wearing out there on the field.
So far, ball security has not been an issue. There hasn't been a turnover in the game. That was another factor with the sleeves, according to Bennett. On second down and 10, a handoff to Ty Montgomery. Jay Bromley on the tackle and a loss of 1.
Boy, Jay Bromley, he goes right through the center. Corey Lindsley and is able to make a play. This is a down now, 3rd and long. 3rd and 11. The Packers have converted just 1 third down. So when the Giants have gotten them into 3rd downs, they've been able to make stops and get off the field. And see if they're able to here, because now they got to start working with the clock and not give up any more points. Try to get the ball back to their offense.
Third down and 11. Good protection, and down the middle of the field, it's Ty Montgomery.
Well, Ty Montgomery is going to motion down, and they're in man coverage, but you see the pick, and it's Davante Adams that is able to pick off Janoris Jenkins, and it just then frees up Montgomery to get in behind Landon Collins for a big gain.
That for Montgomery, his season long, 34 yards on the reception.
Well, you just don't know how to play him. You put him in the backfield, you treat him as a back, you treat him as a wide receiver. That time he lines up as a wide receiver, and that was the dilemma that Spagnuolo found himself in when we talked to him.
Montgomery now as the back. Gets bent over backward. The ball comes out. And no signal yet as to who has it. You could hear the whistles in there. And Ed Hockley wants to make sure before he signals who has the ball. And meanwhile, Montgomery had his body bent over and his neck twisted.
His knee looks down, doesn't it?
Mike, we can hear you.
Oh.
And you were watching the replay before the rest of the world, and you sit over there. His knee looks down. I would agree with you. And then the question is he okay?
The ruling on the field is forward progress at the 30-yard line. The runner was then driven back and lost the ball, but it was already blown dead for forward progress.
And either way, when Ed Hockley says that, now you cannot review it if, in fact, the ball was loose, because if forward progress is ruled, that's not reviewable. But I do think the knee was down anyways.
That knee that was on the ground, and the big body of Ty Montgomery, who's had really an incredible season when you think about what he's taken on, becoming the primary running back for the Green Bay Packers, having to need help to get off the field.
Yeah, this game is becoming costly if they're able to hang on to it. We don't know what Jordy Nelson's status might be, and where he is right now coming off. You remember back when these two teams played in Week 5. Ty Montgomery carried the ball one time in that game. It was just his second carry of the season, so he's been a much more impactful player since that game, doing a lot of different things, and really gave this offense a lift.
Here's another look. Watch the knee go down there, and then as he's twisted backward, the ball pops out. We'll welcome you back inside the booth. Hopefully Ty Montgomery is okay. I'm Joe Buck along with Troy Aikman. This game has been now taken over by the Green Bay Packers, despite going for it on 4th down in their own territory and not making it.
Yeah, boy, the Giants, they jumped in there and they took advantage of that. And then since that time, it's been all Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, and they've been awfully explosive. And then they pick up the big 3rd down there when you think that maybe the Giants could force a punt, but it's been an impressive performance. Like I said, it's been a costly performance, at least as best we can tell by some of the players, key players, that have come out of this ball game. But the Giants have to make a stop here. They can ill afford really to give up much more than a field goal and give this Giants team still an opportunity.
2nd and 9. Cobb out of his reach. I'll tell you, you start reaching for the ball over the middle against this Giants secondary and start thinking about Landon Collins coming to dislodge the football, to put it in a very nice, mild way.
Well, that's the NYPD that we've been hearing about all week, the New York pass defense. And how about Aaron Rodgers? Just a lot like last week. It was a slow start, really struggling and just having a hard time getting things going through much of that first half. Just 7 yards of offense. And it doesn't take much, and that one pass up the sidelines to Davante Adams in that first half seemed to be what really kick-started him.
Play clock was at 1, and so Aaron Rodgers needs a timeout. We'll take a break. 3rd down and 9 when we come back. What a play! Adams, touchdown! Rodgers does this better than anybody. Looks like Rodgers is getting a hot hand. There's a touchdown, Green Bay. Packers punted on their first 5 drives of this game. They've scored on 4 of their last 6. Now faced with 3rd and 9 as they lead by 11. The ball just inside the Giants 35.
Randall Cobb is the guy he likes to look for in these situations.
Blitz. Quick throw. Adams, first down. Aaron Rodgers was the top-rated quarterback against the blitz during the regular season, and he just beat one right there.
Yeah, he beats the blitz. That was not Randall Cobb there in the slot. It was actually Davante Adams. He knows it's coming, and with the corners off, Cody Sensabaugh playing soft. Easy pitch and catch for Aaron Rodgers.
Both Adams and Cobb are over 100 yards receiving in this game.
How about Davante Adams? He goes through the regular season, comes up 3 yards short of 1,000 yards. Typically, I'd be the guy who say, hey, what are statistics? But it's a big deal for a receiver to have 1,000 yards receiving, and he was short by 3.
Rodgers takes it and slides. Aaron Rodgers this year with a career-high 369 yards rushing and led this team with 4 rushing touchdowns. He told us yesterday his legs are fine. First it was a left hamstring strain, then he had a right calf, but he's moving around really well right now.
Yeah, he showed that last week too, and he's smart getting down. Heck, you know, those 369 yards rushing were second on the team.
Adams starts to play in the backfield. Ripkowski at the bottom of the screen, and Adams looking for a block from Ripkowski. Well-designed play on 2nd down and 9. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
And what's interesting is the Giants go zone. They split out Aaron Ripkowski. Eli Apple then is the corner out covering a fullback, and I thought maybe here's Eli Apple and Aaron Ripkowski. I thought then Rodgers might check out of this and try to take advantage of the middle of the field, but they still pick up a nice gain there on 2nd down. And just as soon as I had said the Giants had done such a good job stopping the Packers on 3rd downs, they've given up a few now on this possession.
3rd and 3. Rodgers end zone. Touchdown, Cobb.
Randall Cobb, and the ball typically would have been thrown then, and he just works that baseline, and the protection up front for Aaron Rodgers. This offensive line has been so good, and as we talked about earlier, Joe, it's very misleading when you look at the stats and you say, well, he's been sacked 5 times in the game. They've been tremendous, and without that protection, they don't come away with that touchdown.
It's a 16-yard touchdown throw to Cobb, who had missed the previous 2 games with a bad ankle. I think he's healthy. And for Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes, ties a Green Bay Packer postseason record. Pack in control. The Green Bay Packers are making their 8th consecutive trip to the postseason with their head coach Mike McCarthy. That's tied with the Patriots and Bill Belichick. The longest current streak, and the 2 of them, that's the 2nd longest of all time. With 1 head coach, 1 team, consecutive trips to the postseason. Tom Landry in Dallas in the mid-70s to the mid-80s. Here's Beckham on the return, looking for a spark. And a good return by Odell Beckham in an 18-point game. We look ahead, and we know now the kickoff times. Saturday, it's the Seahawks at the Falcons at 4:30 Eastern here on Fox, followed by Houston at New England at 8:15 Eastern on CBS. And then on Sunday, the early game is on NBC at 1:05 Eastern time with Pittsburgh at Kansas City, and then the winner of this game at Dallas late Sunday. From the 33, Manning. Underneath, pass caught by King. And Tavares King, who has a touchdown in this game, is good for 14.
The Giants right now, they got to get going, and they've got to get some chunks if they're going to climb back into it with a chance. 3-possession game.
Manning has it knocked away by Matthews. Is that a live ball? I haven't heard a whistle yet. And Matthews, the guy who made the hit, is on top of the ball. And the officials, Ed Hockley and the umpire, are talking to each other, and nobody's made a signal yet. Still no signal. How about Matthews in the hustle? He knows that's a live ball.
The ruling on the field is that it was a fumble. The ball was recovered by Green Bay at the 45-yard line.
And with everybody standing around, Matthews goes and gets it. What an effort by the 6-time Pro Bowler Clay Matthews. It's a booth review on the turnover. What a play by Clay Matthews. You'll see it all. Mike Pereira, what'd you see on the call initially?
Absolute right call by Ed Hockley. The ball gets knocked loose in his hand before it starts forward. Ed did not throw a beanbag, and so he really felt he had a fumble on the play, and that's exactly what it was.
They look at it because it's a turnover, and they have ruled that the call on the field stands. And look at what Clay Matthews does to Paul Perkins, who was going for the ball.
He's yelling at Joe Thomas to get on it, and he didn't hear him, and he couldn't get his attention, so he ran down there and knocked Perkins out of the way and got it himself.
Here's Michael right side, and Harrison is there for the stop. That's the first turnover of the game. And Troy, as the Packers go for their 7th consecutive win, the previous 6 games have had a +14 takeaway ratio. They've turned it over only 1 time. That is an incredible run.
Yeah, that's the thing that their defense has done such a great job of during this stretch, is creating takeaways. The secondary, even though they've given up yards, they've been able to come away with some interceptions, and then offensively, they just don't turn it over. And that's kind of been the trademark of this offense ever since Aaron Rodgers took over at quarterback. They just are hard to take advantage of and take the ball away as a defense.
Here's Allison, the rookie, undrafted out of Illinois. They're going to mark him short of a first down.
You know, we didn't really plan on seeing a lot of Geronimo Allison today once Randall Cobb was active, but with Jordy Nelson then leaving the game early, Allison called upon once again to contribute, and he's a young guy finding his way. Had a big game last Sunday and has a really bright future for this Packers team. I think the Packers, I was talking to Mike McCarthy about it yesterday, and I said it to him, that I think they do about as good a job as anybody in football really developing their young players. They've relied on some young guys, and they've come through for them.
Third down and 1. Play action. Aaron Rodgers looking for Richard. Rodgers finds Davante Adams. The first option was covered, and Davante Adams is good for 18 and a first down.
Looked like Davante Adams was a little slow to get up after this play, but Aaron Rodgers just with so much confidence in his arm and being able to find the open guys. These guys know if they create some space and separation from a defender, Rodgers is going to find him. He's able to pick up Adams for a nice gain.
What a year for Davante Adams, and played much of last year, although he didn't talk a lot about it, with an ankle injury. People got on him for drops. 12 touchdown receptions during the regular season for Adams, and as Troy said, nearly a 1,000-yard season. Here's Michael. Brought down by Robinson. There's a strong connection between the two head coaches in this game. Mike McCarthy on the right. Ben McAdoo, the 39-year-old, 14 years the junior to Mike McCarthy, on the left. This before the game, a nice hug. And Mike McCarthy has found a spot in previous years for Ben McAdoo, who then goes over and says hi to Aaron Rodgers. He was his quarterback's coach, but first in New Orleans, then in San Francisco. McCarthy, the offensive coordinator, and then 8 years an assistant here with Green Bay. Before going to the Giants and a head coach now at the age of 39. 2nd and 5. Hand off to Michael. What a burst he's given here in the second half. Good for 9.
Kind of like you said, Joe, that those two had been together a long time, and even though a lot of questions to Ben McAdoo this week as far as what it was going to mean to him to come back to Green Bay and the years that he spent here, and he wouldn't reveal it, how he interacted with them before the game. Obviously a great deal of respect both for Rodgers and Mike McCarthy.
He was 6 years at tight ends coach, then 2 years the quarterbacks coach for Aaron Rodgers, 2 years the offensive coordinator under Tom Coughlin at the end of his 12-year run. Ben McAdoo has a championship ring from the 2010 Packer team winning Super Bowl 45. Here's Michael. And Kristen Michael takes it to the 10.
This has been a heck of a year for Ben McAdoo and the Giants as a rookie head coach, and to be able to hold it together and win as many games as he has. It's been 5 years since his team had made it to the postseason, but how about the job by Mike McCarthy, and 8 straight trips to the postseason, and that is not easy to do. And at 4-6, talk about holding it together and being able to win the division, run the table 6 straight, finish with yet another 10-win season. And then here they are in the wild card round, and they have completely dominated the second half of this game.
Great to see Ty Montgomery back in there for Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers has to use his 3rd and final timeout. It's hard to believe that back in early November there were some who thought Mike McCarthy was quote-unquote on the hot seat. And he came out and said, let's state the facts. I'm a highly successful NFL coach. With that, I've never looked at the ride to this point as smooth. That was during the Packers' 4-game losing streak. And I think this team, as much as they fed off the we can run the table from Aaron Rodgers, they fed off the confidence and that definitive statement from their head coach, Mike McCarthy, who is a terrific head coach.
He sure is, and I think he's a terrific play caller as well, and he's a confident guy. I like that. Hey, let's state the facts here, and he has been highly successful as a head coach, and yet, he has a way about him. It seems like every year the Packers kind of get off to a slow start. There's been those years when they've had great runs. It seems like they kind of get off to slow starts, and then, man, when they hit the postseason, they're playing some really good football. And this is a dangerous team, as we know, for a lot of reasons, but none bigger than because of the way that Aaron Rodgers has played.
2nd and 5.
Green 18.
Rodgers finds Ripkowski, and Ripkowski has a 1st and goal set up.
Well, that's the one throw I think today that Rodgers is really upset with himself about. He came out. This may be the easiest throw he's had today, and if he hits Ripkowski in stride, he probably scores, and Aaron Rodgers would have had another touchdown, which would have given him 5 for the night. grabbed his helmet as soon as he got through that one, knowing it was behind Ripkowski.
First and goal.
5-7. 5-7.
Handoff is to Montgomery. He drives the pile inside the 1. Good push by left tackle David Bakhtiari, who's a second-team All-Pro. This was the first time that Aaron Rodgers has had his starting right tackles protect him all season long. And the numbers show 40 touchdowns to lead the NFL, only 7 interceptions in over 600 attempts. And after a slow start, this Packer offense is churning.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, a real slow start. I mean, they didn't do much through a quarter and a half, and now they've got over 400 yards of offense, and that just simply doesn't happen to this Giants defense. So to be able to do it without your #1 receiver, Jordy Nelson, that's making quite a statement as this game unwinds.
Just one more note about McCarthy. He's had 10 or more wins 8 times in 11 years. And he's won his division 5 times out of the last 6 seasons. He took over in 06. He was involved as a head coach in that 07 championship game with Brett Favre at quarterback. Now he's riding Aaron Rodgers. Won him a Super Bowl in Super Bowl 45. Ripkowski is in for the touchdown.
Good push up front, and then Ripkowski, he just finishes it off with just keeping it going. You know, for a guy who just had 6 carries in 2 years at the University of Oklahoma, he's gotten his share of the workload here in the last few weeks, and this one feels pretty good, putting the icing on the cake here in this game.
This was set up by Clay Matthews almost single-handedly. He got the strip, chased it down, recovered the fumble. Ripkowski gets the points. Well, the yards are now piling up for Aaron Rodgers in this playoff game. 362 of them. 4 touchdowns, and you can see his passing by distance. 15 of 20. Up to 10 yards, 7 of 9. Up to 20 and 20 plus 3 of 11, but 2 touchdowns that have been deep shots. Beckham waits for the kick. He'll bring it from inside the end zone. Odell Beckham not a factor in this game. Kyler Fackrell on the stop, and let's go down to Chris Myers.
Joe, Troy addressed it. It's been a frustrating game for Beckham, playing in the coldest game ever for him. This was him coming to Lambeau before, and he had a number of drops early. I talked to him before the game. He indicated a playoff game in this weather's no day at the beach. He said nothing of a boat, but he said he had hoped to shine on this his playoff stage. Coldest game he was ever in, the Turkey Bowl. His dad had to drive him to it, 15 degrees. But he said weather is not an excuse, at least coming into the game, will not be an excuse for my performance.
Career-high 3 drops in this game. Out of the backfield, it's Perkins. Troy, this, to set Beckham aside for a moment, this Giants offense has been waiting and waiting for the light to come on offensively, and it just hasn't come on, and that includes in this playoff game a team that to this point now will not have scored as many as 20 points over their last 6 games.
It looked like last week in the game against the Redskins that it was starting to happen maybe in the season finale in the first half. It looked good, but all got shut down there in that second half. And today they came out, they moved the football, they did some good things, and Eli Manning was sharp. I thought protection was better than we've seen for most of the year, and they just weren't able to capitalize and finish drives. And part of that was the drop passes, and Odell Beckham was certainly a part of that. But it started in preseason, and it really continued throughout the year that the offense just never could consistently get it going.
Here's Perkins on 2nd and 10. He is up to the 45, a gain of 4. Victor Cruz has been a Pro Bowl receiver for the New York Giants, loved by Giants fans. Patterson Catholic High School, grew up less than 12 miles from the Meadowlands. Came on out of nowhere. Here's pressure on Manning. It was Nick Perry. And the pass is behind Paul Perkins, incomplete. It'll be 4th down. 2-minute warning at Lambeau Field. There's Nick Perry. Packers about to move on officially. Welcome you back to Lambeau Field. This is Fox, the home of Super Bowl 51. 2 minutes left. 4th down and 6 for Eli Manning. Manning throws to King. And Tavares King has had the biggest impact at the wide receiver position in this game for the Giants. He's got a 1st down.
Well, sure has. He shows a little something on that route, too, getting across the field and giving Eli Manning a place to go with the football. He's got some quickness to him.
That one for 18 yards. He's got 73 in the game. Here's Jennings out of the backfield and out of bounds to stop the clock. Joe Thomas on the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 6. State Farm postgame show is coming up after this one from Lambeau. On 2nd down, Manning going for it all. King incomplete, with Clinton Dix and Demarius Randall coming together defending. We look ahead to next week, and it's the divisional round of the playoffs. The Green Bay Packers will be in Dallas. And a matchup that we will have for you starting on the air at 4 Eastern, but a big weekend. Playoff football on Fox as the Seahawks and the Falcons meet on Saturday afternoon. As we look forward to the Packers and the Cowboys, they'll be meeting for the 8th time in the playoffs, the 6th time in Texas. 3rd down and 6 here. Pass is caught by Shepard for a 1st down. Meanwhile, Atlanta and Seattle played in the 2012 divisional in Atlanta. That was Russell Wilson's rookie season. Atlanta won that game barely by 2.
That was a heck of a game, too.
30-28 the final. On 1st down, it's thrown away.
You bring up that game next week with Dallas hosting the Packers, and I think when you go into this weekend, there were 3 teams that the Cowboys could potentially play, and that was Detroit, New York, or Green Bay. And I think of those 3, the Packers were the team they were least hoping to have to face because of how well they had been playing, and of course Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be a heck of a matchup against a Dallas team that has been really good. Of course, the Giants being the only team that had beat them prior to the last week of the season with the Eagles in a meaningless game. But it's been you think back to that game a couple years ago here at Lambeau between those 2 teams. That was certainly a great finish. Should be a lot of fun next week.
The 2 teams met early in the year. That was in week 6. A 30-16 win by Dallas here at Green Bay. The last time it was Packers at Dallas in the postseason, the '95 NFC Championship game. Troy Aikman and the Cowboys beat Brett Favre and the Packers 38-27.
This Packers team, they're a much different team, right, than the one that the Cowboys beat back then earlier in the year.
3rd down and 10. Manning will run for the 1st down. Pressure by Julius Peppers and a carry of 11 yards for Eli Manning.
Well, that run for Eli Manning gave him more yards than he had all season rushing.
On 1st down with 30 seconds left, end zone, and picked. Intercepted by He stayed in bounds, and down the sideline he goes.
He's all the way.
Tripped up at the 30. And Big John Jerry and Justin Pugh, offensive linemen, were down there to try to avoid the touchdown. Here's the interception. And he was able to stay in bounds.
Well, usually in a situation like this with a score what it is, you just take the interception and kneel it down and say game over, but he sees a lot of grass in front of him. It looked like he was going to have a chance. John Jerry had an angle, and Jake Ryan, he liked it. I thought he was going to go all the way. It looked to me initially like Eli was the only one who was going to have a real chance at getting him, but heck of a return.
Marius Randall missed 6 games with core muscle injury that required surgery, and then he was iffy coming into this game after injuring his knee at Detroit last week. Packers win 38-13, and the winning streak has hit 7. The good friends Mike McCarthy and Ben McAdoo come together at midfield. We'll come back here and wrap up this game. Plenty to talk about. This wild card weekend, the Green Bay Packers are headed to Arlington, Texas. Back after this.